What if you spent 26 years of your life working on a single project, and the very first thing you did when you finished was look up your own name? Stay with me all the way to the end of this one, because this is the story of the most stubbornly determined man in American history, and the surprisingly tender moment when he finally put down his pen. It is the winter of 1801, and Noah Webster, already famous across the young United States as the man who wrote the spelling book that taught virtually every American child to read, makes a decision that most people in his life think is, to put it kindly, completely unreasonable. He is going to write a dictionary. Not just any dictionary. A completely new American dictionary, one that reflects the way Americans actually speak, with American spellings, American words, and American definitions, entirely separate from the British English that the young nation is still, culturally speaking, trying to untangle itself from. His friends are supportive in the way that people are supportive when they think you have lost your mind but care about you too much to say so directly. His wife Rebecca is made of considerably sterner stuff. She simply asks how she can help, and starts organizing his notes. She will keep doing that for the next 26 years. Let us just sit with that number for a moment. 26 years. If you started a project today, a 26-year project would not be finished until 2051. Your children would be grown. You would be a completely different person. The world around you would be unrecognizable. Noah Webster knows this going in. He does it anyway. He begins by teaching himself 26 languages because he believes you cannot truly understand a word in English without tracing it back through French and Latin and Greek and Anglo-Saxon and a dozen other roots that branch off in every direction like an enormous underground river system. 26 languages, self-taught, while also writing the dictionary. His daily routine is monumental in its discipline. He rises before dawn, he writes until the light fails, he cross-references, he revises, he argues with himself in the margins of his own notes, in at least 4 different languages. His daughter Emily later recalls that her father's study always smelled of candle wax, strong tea, and what she describes as the particular exhaustion of a man who will not stop. In 1824, 23 years into the project, Noah makes a decision that surprises even Rebecca. He travels to Europe, specifically to Paris and then to Cambridge, England, because there are references he cannot access in America and words he cannot fully trace without sitting in certain libraries that exist only on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. He is 74 years old. He spends a year abroad. He works in the libraries of Paris and Cambridge with the focused intensity of a man who has come too far to slow down now. Fellow scholars who met him during this period consistently describe him using 2 words: brilliant and relentless. He returns to New Haven in 1825. He has 3 years of work left. He does not take a single day off. And then, on the morning of April 14, 1828, in a study that has been the center of his entire universe for more than a quarter century, Noah Webster writes the final definition in his dictionary. The word is, by the pure accident of alphabetical order, the word zip. He sets down his pen. He sits back in his chair. And according to his own account, written in a letter to his son William just days later, he does something that surprises even himself. He weeps. Not from sadness, from something he describes as an overwhelming fullness, a feeling he says he cannot quite find the words for, which is a remarkable thing for the man who just spent 26 years finding words for everything. He writes to William that he sat at his desk for a long time afterward, not moving, just breathing, just being in the presence of something finished. And then, because he is Noah Webster and he cannot help himself, he picks the dictionary back up, flips to the W section, and looks up his own name. It is not there, of course. He has not included proper names. He knows this perfectly well. He laughs anyway. Alone in his study, 26 years of work complete, 70 years old, he laughs at his own joke. Rebecca hears him from the next room and comes to the doorway. He holds up the finished manuscript without a word. She looks at it for a moment. Then she goes to make tea. This is, by every measure, exactly the right response. The first edition of an American Dictionary of the English Language contains 70,000 words. At the time of its publication, It was the most comprehensive dictionary ever produced in the English-speaking world. 70,000 words. 26 years. One man, one remarkably patient woman, and a study that smelled of candle wax and strong tea. It introduces standardized American spellings that we still use today. Color instead of color. Center instead of center. Catalog instead of catalog. Every time you write one of those words, you are, in a very small way, still writing in Noah Webster's handwriting. Here is what I keep coming back to in the story. Noah Webster did not know, on the morning of April 14, 1828, whether his dictionary would matter. He did not know whether anyone would use it, whether it would survive, or whether the 26 years would prove worth it. He just knew he had promised himself he would finish it, and so he did. There is something almost unbearably human about that, about showing up every single day for something you believe in without any guarantee of how the story ends. What is the thing you have been working on quietly and persistently that the world does not know about yet? Whatever it is, do not stop. You might be closer to the last page than you think. Before you go, I want to leave you with one more thought. Noah Webster's story survived because he wrote it down. Every step, every struggle, every doubt, every breakthrough, documented in letters and journals and margins of notebooks passed forward through generations until it reached us here today. And I want to ask you something personal. What is your story? Not the polished version, the real one, the 26-year version, the version where you got up before dawn and worked until the light failed and wondered more than once whether any of it would matter. Those are the stories your children and grandchildren are going to need someday. Not to know that you were perfect, but to know that you kept going, that you showed up, that you finished things even when finishing felt impossible. The words only you can write are waiting. Please do not leave them unwritten. Come back to History Sparks every single day, where we go looking for the stories of real people who did extraordinary things one quiet day at a time. This community is for the people who understand that the greatest projects in history were built the same way yours is being built right now. One word at a time, one day at a time. Hit that subscribe button and join us. Leave a comment below and tell me about the long project in your life, the one you are still working on, the one that matters more than you can easily explain. We want to hear about it, because every great dictionary starts with a single word. We will see you tomorrow.